Morning. Today I just wanted to share a little bit about creative time blocks, my daily routine, and how there's an actual routine, but that it's also flexible and I can move things around a little bit. If you haven't been on my channel before, I'm Genki Hagata. I make daily videos about my daily life, about being a dad, a developer, and a triathlete, and everything else. And that's what today is. Today is a daily video, a daily vlog, and since I don't have a whiteboard here, let's get to the office. Before I talk about creative time blocks and my daily schedule, I want to talk a little bit about context switching first. There's been a ton of research done on human multitasking, and the general consensus is our brains can only focus on one task at a time. You can think of context switching as just switching from one task to another, whether that's working on work and then checking your emails, or someone coming and having a conversation with you at your desk, or answering a phone call. Those are all examples of switching context. And the research shows that our brains can only focus on one task at a time, and even when we think we're good at multitasking, our brains are still trying to prioritize tasks. Those small tasks require us to switch context, and even if it's a short text or a quick glance at your phone to check notification, it takes our brain out of whatever we were doing, and depending on the task that you were doing, it can take 10-15 minutes to get your brain really focused on whatever task that you're working on. So that's why I like to work in time blocks or creative time blocks, and you can call them whatever you like: time blocking, time boxing, calendar blocking, whatever it is. Basically all you're doing is blocking off a set of time in your day, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, where you're going to be focused on a single task. And when you're working on something creative or something that requires deep thinking and problem solving, you really need that time, that full hour to 3 hours to focus. Those creative blocks of time, those working sessions, are really important to me to make sure that I get my work done, to make sure I get the edits for these vlogs done and any other side projects that I have, so I make sure to fit them into my calendar and my schedule wherever I can. And my work schedule is scheduled around the idea of having those 1, 2, 3 hour creative time blocks to work. Which brings me to my flexible daily schedule. I have those kinds of things that I talked about already, the creative blocks. I have the family time, the get ready time, the fitness time. All those blocks of time I try to fit within my day, and those kind of shift around and slide depending on what day it is, what meetings I have to fit in, and things like that. Generally, my day goes like this. I wake up anywhere between 4 and 5 a.m. Like you saw today, I didn't have a morning workout, so I came straight to the office, which means later in the day, as you'll see, I'll have a workout then. I have a commute time if I'm going to the office. If I'm working from home, I get straight to work into that creative time block like I talked about. I go to the office, I usually work on the train, get a little bit of work done, not the heads down type of creative work like I would at the office, but I'll either catch up on editing vlogs or the small tasks like emails and that sort of thing. I get here so early in the morning that usually that first 2.5, 3 hours of my day is clear for creative time. Then I usually have morning meetings, and that kind of bleeds into the afternoon hour, and then there's food time. I try to eat lunch anywhere between 10:30 and 11:30, sometimes all the way up to 1. It really depends. I wake up so early, and if I have a workout, I get really hungry really early, so I eat an early lunch. And just a quick aside, lunch can be a context switching time trap. I fall into this all the time, and I try not to, but eating at your desk and trying to multitask while you're working and eating and getting food on your fingers and trying to wipe your hands on napkins, all that kind of stuff, not good for productivity. So it's much better to just take a 30-minute lunch, eat, and then come back to your desk and get back into that focused state. I'm guilty of this all the time, but I try as hard as I can to not eat at my desk. Yeah. I also like to break up my creative time blocks into smaller subsections to focus on individual tasks that I'm working on for a project. And to do that, I really like the Pomodoro technique. I use this tomato timer to do that. Super helpful. I get to the office early, which means I go home a little bit early, and I have a little bit of time on the train to get some work done, emails, that sort of thing. Might have a little bit of time to do some coding or some creative stuff, but not much. Depending on when I get home and depending on how much work I have, I may go straight into family time, or I may get another 2-hour creative block in before dinner and everything. Today we're going straight into family time. Whoa! Woo-hoo-hoo. Most of the time I eat an early lunch, but on days like today where I just want to get a ton of work done, I don't really take the chance to feed myself. And then I end up eating waffles and a leftover salad. It's fine though. What? 5 o'clock every day is a hard cutoff. That's when we do our last minute family time with Kyo, snuggle with him, pick up the house maybe, do dinner with Kyo, bath time, bedtime, all that kind of family stuff. Kyo goes to sleep between 6 and 6:30. It's 6:30 now, and on days when I don't work out in the morning, I have to work out in the evening. Today, Laura's joining me in the garage. And this kind of counts as couples time, but not really. A lot of times when I do these evening rides after Kyo goes to bed, I have to cut them short so that we can fit in our dinner and I have enough time to do work afterwards. Not today, because dinner's gonna take 30 more minutes. So I have to finish my ride. Regardless of whether or not I have a ride or a workout, every night after dinner, it's creative block time. It's the last creative block of the day, and that's when I get the bulk of all of my editing for this vlog done. Anything else that I need to get done, like art for the podcast, that happens at night. Usually starts around 6:37, depending on if I have a long ride or whatever, and goes to about 10, 10:30, 11 at the latest, and then straight to bed. It's 8:30 now, I'm showered. I've got one last creative block to get the edit done. This is the block of time throughout the day where I usually struggle the most with distractions just because I'm sitting here on the couch. I got the TV going. I hope you found the way I break up my days interesting, and I hope that you found it valuable to you. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you aren't already, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.